Most entrepreneurs fail not because they lack talent, but because they don't know the strategies that successful ones use. John Mullins' 6 powerful tips reveal the secrets no one talks about. Keep watching, you can't afford to miss this. Tip 1. Embrace opportunities beyond your expertise. The most successful entrepreneurs don't just play within the lines, they redraw them. John Mullins highlights the journey of Arnold Correa, a Brazilian entrepreneur who transformed his company, you.While Digital, by embracing challenges outside his expertise. Correa's story is a masterclass in saying yes to opportunities that might initially seem daunting. One of his clients asked him to install televisions in training rooms across 260 stores in Brazil and create a satellite uplink for real-time broadcasts. Correa had no background in satellite technology or operations outside Sao Paulo. Yet his answer was, yes, we can. He figured it out, learned along the way, and delivered a solution that reshaped his business. Later, Walmart approached him with another request, placing screens on the sales floor for targeted advertising. Once again, Correa said, yes, we can, and adapted. This mindset of embracing the unknown allowed Correa to reinvent his business 4 times. Instead of staying limited to his core competencies, he expanded them to match his clients' needs. By doing so, he not only solved their problems but also positioned you.While Digital as a leader in innovative solutions. For aspiring entrepreneurs, the lesson is clear. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. Saying yes to challenges that feel beyond your current capabilities forces you to innovate, learn, and adapt. Of course, there's risk involved, but each risk carries the potential for reinvention and breakthrough success. So the next time an opportunity knocks, even if it seems unfamiliar or intimidating, consider what could happen if you say, yes, we can. You might surprise yourself and your industry with what you're capable of achieving. Tip 2. Focus on problems, not products. Entrepreneurs often get caught up in developing products they believe are innovative, but true success lies in solving real problems. John Mullins underscores this principle with the inspiring journey of Jonathan Thorne, an entrepreneur who built his business by shifting his focus from product-centric thinking to problem-solving. Thorne began with a promising invention, a silver-nickel alloy designed to improve surgical forceps. Traditional forceps, used across various medical fields, had a common issue. They stuck to human tissue during procedures. This was more than an inconvenience. It disrupted precision and increased the risk of complications. Recognizing this problem, Thorne set out to offer a solution. However, his initial efforts to market this innovation to plastic surgeons didn't yield the growth he had hoped for. While the product addressed a challenge, it wasn't a high-priority issue in that field. Instead of giving up or doubling down on the same approach, Thorne adopted a critical entrepreneurial mindset. He pivoted. By digging deeper, he discovered a more significant problem in neurosurgery. In this high-stakes field, surgeons work on delicate and complex areas like the brain and spine. Any error or sticking of the forceps could lead to severe consequences. Neurosurgeons were desperate for tools that could enhance precision and reduce risks. By refocusing his efforts on this niche market, Thorne not only solved a pressing problem but also positioned his product as indispensable. The result? His business grew rapidly and eventually attracted the attention of Stryker, a leading medical technology company, which acquired it. The success was not due to the product alone, but to Thorne's ability to identify and target the right problem and the right audience. Mullins emphasizes that the entrepreneurial journey shouldn't start with a product. It should start with a problem. This problem-first approach ensures that your innovation directly addresses a need that people care about. The better you understand the pain points of your target market, the more likely you are to create something they'll value and pay for. To apply this lesson, entrepreneurs must immerse themselves in the world of their customers. Ask questions like, what are the biggest challenges they face? How can I make their lives easier or their work more efficient? It's not about adding bells and whistles to a product, but solving an issue so effectively that it becomes indispensable. Another critical takeaway is that pivoting isn't failure, it's strategy. Thorne's ability to shift his focus from plastic surgeons to neurosurgeons wasn't just a tactical move. It was the key to his success. Entrepreneurs should remain open to reevaluating their direction, especially when the initial plan doesn't pan out as expected. Focusing on problems over products ensures that your efforts are grounded in reality. Instead of creating something and hoping it finds a market, you build solutions for needs that already exist. This mindset transforms an invention into a business and makes innovation truly impactful. Tip 3, think narrow, not broad. In the entrepreneurial world, there's a prevailing notion that targeting broad markets is the key to success. Big companies aim to reach massive audiences because they have the resources to do so. However, John Mullins advocates a counterintuitive approach for entrepreneurs. Think narrow, not broad. Start small, focus on a niche, and grow from there. Consider the early days of Nike, founded by Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman. Before Nike became a global icon in athletic footwear, it started with a narrow focus on elite distance runners. At the time, running shoes were primarily designed for sprinters, who typically trained on smooth tracks. Distance runners, on the other hand, ran on dirt paths and country roads, encountering rocks and sticks that caused frequent injuries like shin splints and sprained ankles. Recognizing this gap, Knight and Bowerman developed shoes specifically tailored to the needs of distance runners. Their shoes offered better lateral stability, cushioning to prevent shin splints, and a lighter design to enhance performance over long distances. This hyper-focused approach enabled Nike to gain traction among an underserved, passionate group of customers. Once they mastered serving this niche, they expanded strategically. Nike leveraged its expertise to create footwear for other sports, eventually collaborating with legends like Michael Jordan and John McEnroe. Today, Nike is synonymous with athletic footwear, but its dominance was built on the foundation of addressing a small, specific market first. For entrepreneurs, this strategy offers several advantages. Narrow targeting allows you to deeply understand your audience's unique needs and tailor your product or service to solve their specific problems. It also minimizes competition, as larger companies are less likely to invest resources in smaller markets. Additionally, by focusing on a niche, you build a loyal customer base that can become advocates for your brand, helping you grow organically. To apply this principle, start by identifying a group of people with a shared problem or passion. What do they struggle with? What's missing from their current options? By addressing these questions, you can create a solution that resonates deeply with them. Thinking narrow doesn't mean limiting your long-term potential. It means building a strong foundation. Once you establish credibility and expertise in a niche, you can expand into adjacent markets just as Nike did. This phased approach reduces risk and positions you as a trusted authority in your initial focus area. Success doesn't always come from going big. It often starts by going deep. By targeting a narrow market and serving it exceptionally well, you can build a brand that stands out in a crowded landscape. Tip 4, ask for cash and ride the float. One of the most critical challenges entrepreneurs face is managing cash flow. While established companies often have vast reserves of capital, entrepreneurs must adopt innovative approaches to fund their ventures. John Mullins champions a mindset he calls asking for the cash and riding the float. This approach is not just about raising money, it's about strategically leveraging customer payments to sustain and grow the business. Consider the example of Tesla, led by Elon Musk. When Musk joined the company, Tesla was in its infancy, with a grand vision but limited resources. The team planned to start with a high-end sports car, use the profits to create a mid-range car, and ultimately produce a mass-market electric vehicle. But this vision required substantial funding. Instead of waiting for traditional financing, Tesla took a bold step. They organized a roadshow in California, targeting environmentally conscious, affluent individuals who might find owning a Tesla Roadster appealing. The team successfully sold 100 Tesla Roadsters at $100,000 each, collecting $10 million upfront before even producing the first car. This immediate influx of cash enabled Tesla to start production without relying on external investors or debt. Tesla repeated the strategy with the launch of the Model 3. Nearly 500,000 customers placed deposits of $1,000 each, providing the company with $500 million in cash to fund engineering, tooling, and factory setup. By asking for payments in advance, Tesla mitigated financial risk and ensured a steady flow of capital to sustain its ambitious goals. The lesson for entrepreneurs is clear. Don't wait for external funding if you can engage customers directly. Pre-sales, deposits, or advance payments can be powerful tools to finance your venture. This strategy also validates market demand, as customers willing to pay upfront signal strong interest in your product or service. Another example comes from the subscription-based business model. Companies like software providers or subscription box services often collect annual payments upfront, even though the service is delivered over time. This creates a financial float that can be reinvested into the business. By securing cash early, businesses can fund operations, scale production, or invest in marketing without resorting to loans or giving up equity. However, this strategy requires careful execution. First, entrepreneurs must ensure they deliver on their promises. Tesla's approach worked because customers trusted the company to produce innovative, high-quality vehicles. If you take advance payments but fail to deliver, it can damage your reputation and business prospects. Second, transparency is key. Customers are more likely to pay upfront when they understand how their contributions will be used and see clear benefits for themselves. Communicating your vision and demonstrating how their investment aligns with your goals builds trust and encourages participation. Finally, entrepreneurs must plan for potential challenges, such as delays or unexpected costs. Managing the float effectively requires disciplined budgeting and contingency planning. By treating customer payments as a responsibility rather than a windfall, you can ensure long-term sustainability. The power of asking for cash and riding the float lies in its ability to reduce dependency on external funding while fostering a closer relationship with customers. When done right, it creates a win-win scenario. Customers feel they are part of something groundbreaking, and businesses gain the financial stability needed to grow. This principle applies across industries, from product-based ventures to service-oriented businesses. Whether you're launching a new app, creating a subscription service, or building a physical product, consider how you can engage your customers early and leverage their support to fuel your success. In the entrepreneurial journey, cash flow is often the difference between thriving and surviving. By adopting this proactive approach, you not only secure financial resources but also create a foundation of trust and engagement with your audience. The next time you face funding challenges, remember, sometimes the best investor is your customer. Tip 5. Beg, borrow, but don't steal. Entrepreneurship often requires resourcefulness, especially when cash and assets are limited. John Mullins emphasizes a creative strategy that he terms beg, borrow, but don't steal. This principle is about leveraging existing resources to build your business without overextending financially. A great example of this approach is the story of Tristram and Rebecca Mayhew, founders of Go8, a treetop adventure business in the UK. The Mayhews had a bold vision to bring the thrill of treetop adventures to the British countryside. However, building such a business from scratch posed significant financial challenges. Instead of purchasing land, constructing infrastructure, and bearing the full costs themselves, they adopted an ingenious strategy. They borrowed. The Mayhews approached the UK Forestry Commission, which manages vast expanses of forested land across the country. The commission was eager to increase visitor numbers but lacked innovative ideas to do so. Seeing an opportunity, the Mayhews proposed a mutually beneficial partnership. They asked for permission to use the Forestry Commission's land to build their treetop courses, promising to attract more visitors and share a portion of the revenue. The deal was a win-win. The Mayhews didn't need to buy land, build parking lots, or install restrooms. All these facilities already existed on the Forestry Commission sites. Instead, they focused on creating the adventure courses, drastically reducing their startup costs. Today, Go8 has grown into a thriving business with over 30 locations in the UK and several more in the US, all built on the foundation of smart resource sharing. For entrepreneurs, the lesson is clear: think beyond ownership. Just because you don't have the resources to buy something outright doesn't mean you can't use it to grow your business. Strategic partnerships, leases, or borrowing underutilized assets can significantly lower your costs while maintaining flexibility. This principle also applies to partnerships with suppliers, manufacturers, or even customers. For instance, a startup might negotiate favorable terms with suppliers in exchange for long-term contracts. Similarly, Entrepreneurs can collaborate with other businesses to share infrastructure, such as warehouses or delivery networks. However, the strategy requires a balance of creativity and integrity. It's essential to build mutually beneficial relationships where both parties gain value. Transparency, clear agreements, and honoring commitments are crucial to maintaining trust. The phrase "but don't steal" serves as a reminder that cutting corners or exploiting partnerships can backfire, damaging your reputation and long-term potential. The Mayhew's story also underscores the importance of aligning with stakeholders' goals. By understanding the Forestry Commission's desire to increase foot traffic, the Mayhews crafted a proposal that met both their needs and the Commission's objectives. Entrepreneurs can replicate this approach by identifying potential partners' goals and demonstrating how collaboration benefits everyone involved. Beg, borrow, but don't steal is about being resourceful, not reckless. It's about finding opportunities to use what already exists to create something new and impactful. For aspiring entrepreneurs, the lesson is simple. If you're facing resource constraints, look around. Chances are someone has what you need, and a collaborative solution might be just a conversation away. Tip 6. Don't wait for permission. Take action. Entrepreneurs often face a world full of regulations, gatekeepers, and norms that seem to stifle innovation. John Mullins advocates for a bold mindset. Don't wait for permission. Take action. This approach doesn't mean ignoring rules or acting unethically. Rather, it's about moving forward when the traditional pathways are unclear or slow to respond. The story of Uber's founding perfectly illustrates this principle. Travis Kalanick and Garrett Camp didn't ask city regulators for approval to start a rideshare service. Why? They knew the entrenched taxi industry would push back, and the regulatory environment wasn't prepared for a concept like Uber. Instead of seeking permission, they launched their service, demonstrating its value to customers first. By the time regulators took notice, Uber had already gained a loyal user base and had proven its concept. This approach worked because Uber's founders identified a problem: inefficient and inconvenient taxi services, and provided a solution that people wanted. Their success was rooted in action, not in waiting for a perfect set of circumstances. While Uber's methods have sparked debates about ethics and legality, the core lesson for entrepreneurs is clear. Innovation often operates in a gray area where regulations haven't caught up to technology or new ideas. For entrepreneurs, the key is to focus on solving problems and creating value, even when the road ahead is uncertain. Taking action doesn't mean disregarding all rules. It means not letting fear of bureaucracy or rejection paralyze your progress. Sometimes, the best way to gain traction is to demonstrate your concept in action, building momentum and support along the way. One example of this principle applied ethically is crowdfunding. Entrepreneurs with innovative products can showcase prototypes and gather support from early adopters before fully launching. This not only validates demand, but also demonstrates the concept's viability to potential investors and partners. However, taking action requires careful judgment. Entrepreneurs must weigh the risks of moving forward without full approval against the potential benefits. In some cases, pushing boundaries can lead to breakthroughs. In others, it might invite legal challenges. The balance lies in understanding where flexibility exists within the rules and ensuring your actions remain aligned with ethical standards. Another important aspect is persistence. When the conventional path isn't available, entrepreneurs must forge their own way. This could mean bypassing traditional distribution channels, creating new business models, or leveraging technology to disrupt established industries. In every case, the ability to act decisively sets successful entrepreneurs apart. Don't wait for permission doesn't mean acting recklessly. It means having the courage to innovate despite uncertainty. When you see an opportunity, don't let the fear of rejection or red tape hold you back. Take the first step, adapt as you go, and let your results speak for themselves. For entrepreneurs, action often leads to opportunity, and those who move forward while others hesitate are the ones who shape the future. John Mullins' principles on embracing opportunities beyond expertise resonate with me deeply. His insight about seizing daunting tasks inspired me to take on a project that initially felt far beyond my capabilities. One evening, I was approached by a client with a request to develop an interactive training program tailored for a multinational team. At that time, I had minimal experience working on projects of this scale, let alone in a multicultural environment. My first instinct was hesitation. What if I failed? But then I remembered Mullins's perspective. Growth doesn't come from staying in your comfort zone. It comes from saying, yes, I can. This leads to my personal story. After accepting the project, I dived into research, consulted experts, and devoted endless hours to understanding my clients' needs. I designed a multilingual platform, incorporated cultural nuances, and ensured the training modules were engaging and effective. The result? A successful program that earned not only the client's satisfaction, but also opened doors to similar high-level opportunities. If this resonates with you, why not take the first step today? Say yes to that opportunity you've been hesitating about, and let it shape you into the person you aspire to be. For more motivational insights and actionable strategies, subscribe to this channel. Together, we'll unlock the potential within and transform our challenges into triumphs. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to inspiring your journey forward.